are helping tell the story of more than 30 seasoned U.S. military members, Navy SEALs, including commandos from SEAL Team 6, who were killed in Afghanistan 1 decade ago. It was America's deadliest incident during the war in Afghanistan. The movie Fallen Angel, call sign Extortion 17, dives deep into the story behind the U.S. Army helicopter that was shot down in 2011 and went up in flames.
Once we realized that there wasn't many survivors, that was probably one of the hardest radio calls. I kind of looked at Doc and I said, Doc, he said, did that? Kind of pointed over towards the crash. He's like, there's nobody in that.
Joining me now is Karen Vaughn, the Gold Star mother of Aaron Vaughn, who died that day in Afghanistan, along with Spivey, director of Fallen Angel. Karen, it's so wonderful to see you. You're a dear friend. It has been amazing to know you for almost these 10 years since that terrible day. Aaron is a hero, and this film tells that story. First of all, 1 day past the 10-year mark, what are you thinking about when you think back on Extortion 17?
Pete, it's so good to talk to you. I just think back about all the mystery surrounding it, how there was just seemed to be such a lack of transparency. It seemed like the only people who wanted us to ask questions were the leaders who were there that day. Because Pete, I just want to show you guys really quick. I know Billy talked about this, but our family was given documents that should have been kept secret until 2036, and we printed them out. We've got 3 binders this size, and what we learned in these binders, just so you know, every sticky note is a memo of something we had a question about. Wow. And had to have it. So there were so many questions, and just like the 9/11 families who just had their press conference a couple days ago, my good friend Terry Strada said, where is the transparency? When are we ever going to be a nation that stops lying to its citizens about what happened? So many questions and so few answers.
Real quick before I get to the film, why do you think there was such an unwillingness to share the truth?
I don't know, because the worst scenario I can think of is something that, there was a shootout on the chopper, it was a setup, the intel was shared, we had Afghans who were, green on blue attacks, there were all sorts of things like that going on. The worst that could have happened, if they had explained it to us, they could have trusted us with it.
Sure.
But instead it was just like, Pete, I went 2 years filing FOIA requests trying to find out what happened to the remains of my son, whether or not he was cremated, and they would never tell me.
It's amazing. Stephen, congrats on the film Fallen Angel. What's it like to try to tell a story like this?
Well, it's as you can imagine, it's overwhelming. When we first connected with the Vaughns, heard their story, we were moved. To have such a tragedy like this and no answers really provided really struck a chord with us. And so as we got to know the Vaughns and got to know their heart and their resolve, we wanted to join them. And so when we tackled the job, we knew it was going to be huge, but we had no idea how huge it would be. And as we continued on, what was amazing is that we had so many people join us. We had people started to come forward, and we believe that we're going to still have people come forward after seeing the documentary. We're excited about it.
Stephen, it happens that way. When you get to know the Vaughns and they channel the spirit of Aaron, you want to know more and you want to do more. And I hope folks check out this film. It's Karen Vaughn, we're out of time, but thank you for the testament. And this film, Fallen Angel, streaming now, SalemNow.com. Check it out. More Fox and Friends coming up.